Welcome to the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast with Dat Boy Mo 629. Discussing everything fitness and everything motivation. Here is where you will get your fitness education and motivational fix. Now, here's your host, Dat Boy Mo 629.
What's good, everybody? It's Dat Boy Mo 629 coming to y'all with another edition of the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast. This time we about to talk about my top 10 tips for gym newbies. Gym newbies, right? It's the new year, 2025. I just came from the gym, so this is why I kind of want to do a so-called top 10 tips for gym newbies, because a lot of gym newbies in there that's kind of irritating, so-called irritating the regular gym goers, right? The regulars, so to speak. And I want to there's certain things, if you're new at something, you don't know what to do, right? So I'm not impatient with new gym comers and gym goers and like that, the newbies and stuff like that, that's trying to get the gym workout in and trying to make themselves better, make a difference. I'm not on that. Like my dog Joey Swole, you know what I'm saying? He said, if you ain't gonna help him, get out the way. And I 100% agree with that. If you ain't gonna help him, get the hell out the way. I'm like, they trying to find their footing just like everybody else, just like you did, just like I did when we first went to the gym and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, if you see somebody doing something messed up or not right, then instead of complaining about it and criticizing them, why don't you just help them? And this is my way of helping them and you for 10 tips for gym newbies, right? For this podcast episode, should be January 6th. That is an infamous date. January 6th. It's very infamous. That's crazy. We all know why, though. Infamous. Capitol, storming the Capitol. That's funny. Not funny, really, but, whatever. So, number one, right? I wrote this down as far as my notes. Is don't wing it, right? Don't walk into the gym without a plan. Don't walk into the gym with no idea what you want to do, because you're going to randomly do workouts and you're not going to have a plan and your workout may be crap. You want to go in with a set plan, right? So you want to go in with a set plan and execute that plan. Your workout plan, whether it's cardio, weights, or whatever, you want to execute that plan, right? So before you get to the gym, make sure you know exactly what you want to do, what body part you want to work, what type of workout, all that. So focus on form and not weight. A lot of people get egotistical in the gym and they try to focus on weight and not form, and they try to lift heavier than they can actually lift. And what happens is they injure themselves. Injuries happen from not using proper form and not using proper form at all. So this goes in line with your plan, making a plan of what to do before you go to the gym, and when you get to the gym, you have a plan. So if you go, I'm going to do pull-ups, right? So your form for pull-ups, you should actually have that form down. It's mind and muscle connection. If you're going to do bicep curls, you should have an idea of how to perform those bicep curls. If you want to do triceps, whatever, right? Tricep extensions, skull crushers, whatever the hell you want to do, dips, you should have an idea on how to do that with proper form. So a lot of times what happens is, like I said before, injuries happen from not using proper form and doing too heavy a weight because your ego feel that you can do it, and you end up falling on your ass or tearing the ligament or doing something. Now make sure you focus on form and not weight, right? So, and also, number 3, consistency beats intensity. What people don't realize, they be like, oh man, I'm about to go hard on this workout, and then, I'm about to do this hit cardio and do all this and yada, yada, yada. Look. If you're consistent in the gym, I learned today, I did a search and to see what the average person, the average gym goer, general population, how many times they work out a week. I'm not gym pop, I'm a fitness enthusiast, right? Because I do 6 to 7 days a week. So, or athlete, so to speak. But gym pop is 2 to 3 days a week. So in those 2 to 3 days a week, gym pop try to kill it and go hard those 2 to 3 days a week, but then they beat up the tired, the body sore. Like, man, this sucks, man. I don't want to do all this because you're going too hard than your body can to handle. So what happens is your body get tired, you get tired, your mental get tired. You don't want to do this, especially if you ain't losing the weight. 3 days a week, that's cool if you're eating properly. But if you ain't eating properly, then guess what? Those gains ain't going to happen. So consistency beats intensity. You see what I'm saying? So it's cool to start 2 to 3 days a week, but you got to make sure that your meal planning is on point as well. Your calorie count, your calorie intake, your protein intake, and all that stuff is on point as well. You got to make sure your diet is correct. Number 4, this is a common thing right here. And even the most fittest of the fittest do this, including me, including plenty of influencers out there that got millions of followers and subscribers. Don't compare yourself to others, right? So if you keep comparing yourself to others, you're not going to be satisfied with your accomplishments, right? So if you compare yourself to this fit person over here, especially women, right? You keep comparing your butt, keep comparing your stomach, keep comparing your legs, your quads, your calves, your boob, your tits, whatever. You keep comparing yourself to others, you're never going to be satisfied with how you look. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to keep chasing. Your goal going to be here. You're going to be like, oh, man, I hit this goal, so I can be leaner in this area. Okay, I hit this goal, so I can be thicker in this area. Okay, you're going to keep chasing. I'm not saying be complacent, but I'm saying reward yourself and be proud of yourself and know that that person you're comparing yourself to might be comparing themselves to you, thinking that you're better than them. You just never know. So, and there's been plenty of times I'll be like, man, I'm trying to get like you. And they be like, sure, dog, I'm trying to get like you. Just never know until you speak to that person. So don't compare yourself to others. It's cool to be inspired, but don't compare yourself in a way that you always look at yourself in a negative light and have negative self-talk. 5, please, for number 5, gym etiquette. Gym etiquette, right? In the days of viruses, I'm not just talking about COVID-19. I'm talking about cold, flu, the new the norovirus out there, the bird flu, some other viruses that are coming out there. Make sure you are sanitizing equipment, right? Number 1. Make sure also that if you use weights, re-rack the weight. 2 days ago when I worked out at night, I went to the gym at night, and on one of the equipment, I believe it's a squat machine, and it has a cable. And there's a note on the machine that says, once you're done, please take the weights off due to the stress of the cable. The cable can snap. It was like 3 45 plates on each side. Nobody took the weights off. So I'm just sitting here like it's only me and one person in the gym, and I know he didn't do it. And so I'm just like, you know what, man, I'm going to take these weights off because it can break the machinery. Just having gym etiquette. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fact that, oh, that's not my job, I don't work here. It's just gym etiquette. We like functional equipment, right? We like functional equipment in the gym that we work out at. We don't like broken down equipment. So if you see anything in the gym that, re-racking weights, or people trip over weights too, it's messy. Damn. So re-rack your weights. And another one is, as far as gym etiquette, I got 2 more, right? The script called for 1, but I got 2 more. Don't hog machines, right? Don't hog your machines. Like, that's what I'm saying. Put a plan together. So you got to put 3 sets, do 3 sets, and get off the machine. Don't know who is trying to work into that machine too. Don't hog the machine for a long amount of time. Not the only one in the gym. So it's everybody's gym, not just your gym. Share the gym, right? Get off. Don't be on your phone for 3, 4, 5 minutes in between sets and stuff like that. Hogging the machine, So just don't hog the machine. And the second one is gym etiquette. And this just me, might be subjective. Y'all can tell me if I'm being subjective or not, but dog. In the locker room, right? Use lockers. It's called a locker room. Use the lock for the lockers in the locker room, right? Because what happens is this, right? And this is what a big pet peeve. I've been in the gym for 20 years. Going to the gym for 20 years, right? So what happened in the past, in the last 2 decades to now, and people don't use locks in the lockers. And what bothers me with that is like when you go into the locker room, you kind of like survey to see who has a lock on what locker. So you know where to go to, so you're not in that person's way and that person ain't in your way. So what happens is if you don't put a lock on that damn locker, everybody's in the same spot, right? And not even knowing it until everybody want to get ready to leave or ready to go or whatever it is. So everybody's in each other's way and everybody's frustrated. So to me, only makes sense to put a locker as an indicator, a visual aid, to be like, okay, that person you right there, so I ain't gonna be close to that. That person's right there, so I ain't gonna be close to that. Use a lock. I beg you. So number 6, nutrition matters, right? We can sit here and say, oh, I'm in the gym and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not seeing any gains. I don't understand what's happening. Well, your nutrition is trash. If your nutrition is trash, you ain't gonna see no results. Or you're gonna see very minimal results. Your nutrition is trash, bro, right? Once again, what I said before, people got like affinities to and what do you want to call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Obsessions with certain types of meal plans and diets, like fruitarian diet. I see a lot of that. I'm not negating fruitarians or whatever and all that stuff. I see the weight loss and all that. I'm actually adding a lot of fruit to my diet, to lose weight. Because when I did get really lean, I had a lot of watermelon in my diet. I remember that. But I still had protein. I still had meats and stuff like that. But I substituted a lot of junk that I used to eat with fruit. And like watermelon, bananas, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And grapes, tangerines, oranges, stuff like that I used to supplement junk with. So, and the weight did come off, because, but that was all nutrition. And if your nutrition is trash, if your lifestyle at the bar is trash, then guess what? Your results are going to be trash, bro. That's just what I'm telling you. Telling everybody out there listening to this, man, it's going to be trash. You know what I'm saying? So, number 7, don't skip warm-ups, right? Especially in the wintertime. Wintertime, if you're in the northern states like Ohio, I'm from Ohio, and it's very cold outside. Unless you've been moving your body before you went to the gym, one thing that I would say is to warm up your body, right? Whether you're doing dynamic stretching, static stretching, or even like kind of like moving around or whatever on the treadmill, loosen it up, on a stair climber, on the elliptical, whatever it is, just loosen up a little bit before you actually lift weights. Just to loosen up your muscles, you know what I'm saying? So it's not so cold, you know what I'm saying? So if you, not saying you'll tear muscle, but injuries can happen if you don't really warm up, and warm up don't have to be anything intense. Like I said, you can be on the treadmill for about 5 minutes. You can do some jump ropes for about 5 minutes. You can do some static stretching. You can do some dynamic stretching. Sometimes what I do, if it's too cold out, I just go in the sauna before I work out to kind of warm my body up and just move around in there. You know what I'm saying? Loosen up in there. So make sure you do some warm up and do some cool downs after your workout. You gotta understand your body. You know what I'm saying? Like your body is the reason for your livelihood. So you got to treat it well, you got to train it well, and that's how you make your living with your body. Whether you're walking around, whether you got to get up, you got to get out the house, you got to function. So you got to make sure your body is your temple. So make sure that you tune it up real good. Get comfortable with free weights. Right, a lot of people use machines. I'm not negating machines, right? So machines, when you use machines, you're following the trajectory of that machine, right? So your body movement is going to the trajectory. So if you're doing a pull down, so to speak, right? with that bar right there. You're going for the trajectory of the machine versus if you're doing a pull up and you can actually, you know what I'm saying, like actually go with your body movement, your body, the way your kinetic chain of your body actually moves. So with free weights, you have more freedom. So like if you're doing bicep curls or whatever, right, you can actually move like your shoulder and you can kind of like do it like this or whatever versus the machine. You can kind of do it with the machine, but you can, you know, you got more freedom, but free form with free weights. I'm about to call it free weights. And then like with your let's just say lateral raises for your shoulders, like your lateral raises. Like you can twist your hand any way you want to, bend your elbow the way you want to, all that stuff too, right? And you can go from the height that you want to, so to speak, without having to adjust the height. You see what I'm saying? So like if you want your hand up here to do that, and then you want to go down like this to do that, or down like this to do that, all the way to the bottom, you don't have to with the cable, do it like this, and then do it like that, then do it like that. You have that freedom with free weights. So get comfortable with free weights. Free weights will help build muscle quicker, in my opinion. 9, track your progress. Make sure this goes in line with comparing yourself to others, but make sure you track your progress because kind of like data analytics almost, right? So you want to track the data, so to speak, right? And people be like, oh man, don't go by the scale, right? And that is true. That's true to a point where you don't have to, but the scale is not the end all be all. You want to go by, if you're trying to lose weight, which the vast majority of people in fitness want to lose weight, want to lose fat and build muscle. So sometimes there's this thing called body composition to where you're losing the fat, but you're gaining the muscle and that scale don't change. So your mind is telling you that the scale ain't changing. I'm not making no progress. Well, that's where you do body fat measurements as well, right? One of the things is the fat caliper. I highly recommend that because when you use that, you can actually measure your body fat. You got the skin fold measurements and stuff like that. So there's a 3-site skin fold measurement that you can do to measure your fat. They got some scales out there that supposedly can measure your body fat. There's one that I use, it's called a Renpho scale, and it's pretty accurate because I do when I measure my body fat on the Renpho scale, and then I measure my body fat with the caliper, they're almost in sync. But that's just me though. So when we do trials and randomized control trials and stuff like that with different people, it all depends where their body fat is at. So like, I don't have much fat on my legs. I don't have much fat on my arms. I don't have much fat on my chest. My fat goes to my midsection, right? That's just my genetics. Some guys may have fat on their legs. Some guys may have fat on their back and their chest area versus their stomach area. You know, some guys' stomach stick out more than mine. So at the end of the day, that's why you do the fat caliper method, because you can actually get a more accurate than the scale. So it's highly recommended. And then they got this thing cool called the DEXA scan that you can sit in, and then like you can stand in or whatever and scan your body, and you will be able to get your body fat percentage on there, your muscle mass, body fat, fat-free mass, all that stuff. So don't just use the scale. The scale is a good starting point. Not the greatest starting point. It's a good starting point, but use different methods to measure your progress, and also measure your fitness progress. Like if you can't, let's just say like when you started off, you can only bench 80 pounds. Just throwing a number out there, 80 pounds. And then in a month, 80 pounds is lighter. Okay, boom. I can do 100. And that's progress, right? Or you can do 3 pull-ups. Right? Now you can do 10 pull-ups. Like, damn, I'm getting good, I'm getting better. So that's the progress also that you gotta measure. Not just the scale, but strength, flexibility, all that. Number 10, going in line with number 9. Trust the process, right? You can make adjustments. You can you can make changes in your diet, you can make changes in your workout plan, you can do all that. So I trust the process, right? Me in particular, I have at max a 16-week training program that I offer, right? And they go in 4-week increments. So the first 4 weeks, right, we're going to do this. And then we're going to see where you're at. And then from there, we're going to go for the next 4 weeks, which is 8 weeks. And then we're going to see where you progress from there, where you're deficient at from there, and then go into the 12 weeks, right? So we're going to 12 weeks, and then we're going to the 16th week, right? A lot of times, in order for you to get the knowledge that you really need to succeed, I highly recommend you get the 16-week program, because once you're in there for 4 weeks and 4 months, you should already have it down packed of what you need to do and what you should do. You should already have the knowledge. You shouldn't even need my services after 16 weeks, unless you just want an accountability buddy. So that is a part of trusting the process, right? The first 4 weeks, we're going to look at where you at. Boom, trust the process. All right, you're getting frustrated, whatever. I don't think I lost weight. I don't think I did this. Okay, what can we adjust? Bam. Going to move that into the 8 week. And then in the middle of that 8 week, probably week 6, we're going to see exactly where you at, because you're already in 6 weeks into it. And then be like, okay, bam. And then in the 12th week, you should already, you know what I'm saying, everybody should be seeing after week 8, everybody should be seeing the weight loss. Everybody should be seeing the weight change. Everybody should be noticing the difference in you. And then after that 12th week, everybody should be noticing real difference in you. Then after that 16th week, like, damn, notice a real big difference. So you should already have that knowledge base after that, because you trust the process, right? You trust the diet, you trust the workout, you trust the fat measurements, you trust, you know what I'm saying, your strength improvements and your flexibility improvement and your endurance improvement, and all that stuff will come off of that. So trust the process, right? You know, these are my 10 tips, right? For gym newbies, if you stuck through this podcast episode right here, see how long the podcast was. This is over 20 minutes. They started calling me the yapper on YouTube, but whatever. I like to yap a lot. They say, I don't even talk much for real. But if you enjoyed this podcast episode, like, you can find this audio version. If you listen to the audio version right now, that's cool. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. I got the video version on YouTube, the audio version is on all streaming services that have podcasts. So start it, own it, finish it podcast. You know what it is. Until next time, start it, own it, finish it.
You've been listening to the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast. Be sure to subscribe to receive new episodes. Link up with Dat Boy Mo 629 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, or visit him at ace1warrior.com. Until next time, start it, own it, finish it.